So about a year ago, I'm working with one of the largest channels I've ever worked with at the time. They had 20 million subscribers, they paid me $200 a video, and this was pretty much the easiest money I've ever made in my life. The videos were quite easy, it's like simple cuts, it's like quite a bit of footage, but you just cut it down, and it took me like 6 hours to make $200. And when I tell you that these guys, they posted consistently, literally multiple uploads a day. So whenever I wanted work, they already had work ready to give me. They were always producing more content than they could get produced by their editors. And because of how repetitive those videos were that I was editing, I started optimizing my workflow. I would write down the exact steps which were optimal for them. I would be making shortcuts specifically for the client. I'd be making these macros. Like I literally bought this entire stream deck. I use this still to this day. It's for macros and stuff. I literally bought that because I was working with this client, and I realized if I can maybe get 30 seconds off every single time I click a button, that would add up so much for how many videos I'm doing for these guys. And you might be hearing this and you might be thinking like, oh, that's way too much. And I don't blame you, because a lot of people back then, other editor friends, other people that were looking at me, even my family saw I was buying things for one client. Everyone was saying that it was way too much, it was unnecessary. But within just a few months of me working with this client, I managed to go from only getting 2 videos done a week, and that's me working pretty much as I can, all the way to getting them done within a couple hours. I was getting 6 videos done a week when I was expected to only get 2. And you hearing this right now, you must be thinking, oh, that's amazing. Like, you're getting more videos done than you ever thought was possible. You're literally making the easiest money of your life. You've got everything optimized and everything. But there's a darker side to this, because while I was reaping the benefits of this extra productivity, having more of an optimized workflow, but what ended up happening was the client dropped another editor because I was able to get their work done. Like, imagine that. I'm literally getting so many videos done. I'm working so fast that the client, it didn't make like logistical sense for their business to give the other editor work, because I was getting it done faster and better. And I know there's going to be one person who calls me an arsehole for this. Like, that meant you made the other person lose a job. Oh, they lost like thousands of dollars a month just because you did it. And it's like, you can call me an arsehole for it, but the sad part is this is exactly what you're competing with. Because if it wasn't me who became more productive, and I was the one with the optimized workflow, and I was the one who was being more productive, it would have just been someone else. Because you might not want to hear this, but you know it's true. Another editor will replace you if you can't get videos done on time. If you're watching this, you probably want to work with some of the largest channels in the world, people paying like thousands a video. You probably want to get there at one point. And do you really think someone paying that much money is going to settle for your bullshit when you don't decide to give in videos on deadlines? Like, you're going to have to raise your standards just a little bit. So you right now, you watching this video, you have 2 options. Either you can go call me the arsehole, you can say, oh, it's not fair that Malice became more productive and then he took the other person's job. You can do that. And if you are, honestly, this video won't help you, you can leave now. Or you're the other type of person who you would rather learn from someone that's done it already. You're someone that would want to be the person that's taking the job, someone that is meeting the deadline, someone that is working in such a productive way where you're getting more work done in a day than most people do in a week. Because the trick to meeting deadlines, it isn't to just edit more, because you've probably tried that in the past. Like, you've had like 10-hour days, you've done all-nighters, you've stopped all of your other friends and like meeting other people just to finish a video. You spend 10 hours a day on it and you still barely get anything done. Like, I see this so many times in like Discord servers when people ask, oh, how many hours do you edit usually? And it's like someone said 10 to 18 hours. First of all, you're lying, because there's no way you're working 18 hours a day, getting sleep, eating and doing everything. Second of all, you physically, like, your biology will not allow you to work at 100% productivity for more than about 4 or 5 hours a day. And like, you don't even need to believe me. This isn't me saying your biological limit is this much. There are books and research to back this up. So it's like, don't get me wrong, you can work for 10, 11, 12 hours a day, but don't start coping and saying that, oh, I am being productive for most of it, but I still can't get clients, my editing's still shit. It's like, you're clearly doing something wrong. If you want to double, triple, 5x, 10x how much work you're getting done, you need to learn how to enter a deep work state. What deep work is, it's this moment that you're in while you're working where the world almost dissolves around you. You're so engrossed into this task, your eyes barely move onto anything outside of its vision. You're literally getting more work done and it doesn't even feel hard. And you've probably gotten into this deep work state before on accident. Just think about the last time you literally spent like an hour editing and you didn't even open Twitter once, you didn't open Discord once, you literally just worked on the video and you made more progress than you've ever done before in this one video. And you compare it to your other editing sessions and you're like, what the hell, how have I gotten this much work done? But usually I barely get like the cut done in the whole session. The reason you were able to have that moment was because you were in deep work. And the more we can get you into this state of depth, the more progress you're gonna make. Because you can imagine if you're working on just the animations for an entire hour and a half straight, you would make it better than some random kid who starts an animation, jumps onto Twitter, starts finishing it off, and then reads like this random article and then comes back and then checks his phone and then comes back to the animation. You would be way better, right? And the third reason, probably the most important one of all, you're a lot happier while you're working. Because you might not believe me, but there are people who genuinely work 5 times better and faster than you, and you might look at them now and be like, oh, I would never want to live a life like that. Oh, they must be getting burnt out. Bro, they are doing it in a way where they are enjoying editing more than you. I want you to take a second and think back to when you first started editing. You probably did it as a hobby, or you just did it on your pastime. Think about how much you enjoyed it. Sure, it was hard, like you were learning all these new tools. You probably didn't know how to even open Premiere or like add in different effects and stuff. Think about how little you knew, but you still enjoyed it. So there's people out there that still have that childlike enjoyment out of editing. The only difference is now they're making thousands and thousands of dollars. And you could probably guess who's gonna win long term. The guy that's genuinely enjoying his work, or the one that's gonna burn out in a few months. Because he's working in a way where he's working 10 hours a day, but he's not making progress, he's not enjoying it, and his clients aren't even getting their videos on time. I hope you're listening to me carefully. If you're gonna take away one thing, let it be this: deep work will genuinely change your life. I find more enjoyment now in the work I do, and I'm literally getting 10 to 100 times more work and making that much more money, and I'm enjoying it throughout the entire process. This is the exact reason I was able to grow as an editor, and while there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of other editors trying to achieve what I've done, get huge clients, make this much money, charge this much, most of them failed, while me, some random kid sitting in my bedroom, the same PC that I used to play Fortnite on, I'm just editing on that. I managed to do it while most people couldn't. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm putting most of that achievement into understanding this one concept. I've got a full productivity maximization handbook in the description. It's a PDF guide. You can scroll down in the description. You can download it now. Just read it after this video, because I'm going to explain the different tactics to go into deep work now, but really understanding the topic in depth. That's what you'll get from that guide. So there's 3 components to this deep work protocol that we're going to use. Number 1 is removing distractions. Second is ultradian cycles. And third is tools for success. You might not be too sure about what all of them mean right now, but I promise you, just wait. I'm going to explain all of it in depth. I'm going to give you actionable steps on how to implement each one. This shit will genuinely change your life. So I'm going to start with the first one now. I want you to be honest with me right now. No one's going to know what you answer, but just between me and you, I want you to answer this question. Do you open Twitter or Discord while you are editing? So you're working on this video. Maybe it's a practice edit, maybe it's a trial, maybe it's an actual client video, and you kind of just open up Chrome and then search up Twitter, or you open up Discord in your taskbar and you just quickly check some messages. You don't reply, you don't get into huge calls right now, but you go back to your editing straight away. It's no harm, right? I want to address this because you might not realize it, but these 5-10 second distractions that you introduce, the cost that they have on you is a lot bigger than you might think. Because for you to enter this deep work state, it takes you about 20 to 30 minutes. So you start off working, and for about 20 minutes, it's kind of hard. You're getting distracted, your brain's everywhere. But once you've gone past that 20-30 minutes, it becomes a lot easier just to focus. It feels fun after that. The problem is, every time you introduce one of these distractions, you open a message, you check your phone, it resets the timer back to 0. So you're working, you're 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in, you check your phone and you're back to 0. Back to you working in your usual unproductive state, where you're not only getting very little work done, but you're not going to be enjoying it long term. And just think about it, for most people out there, genuinely, both editors and normal people, everyone works like this. They're working, they reset it. They're working, check messages. They're working, check Discord. They're working, check Twitter. What they don't realize is the guy that's able to get past this, and from here, it's some hyper productive state. This is where the true value that you create in the marketplace is made. Because here you're making shallow work. You're not enjoying it. You're not getting much work done. The real value that you have to give to the marketplace, what's going to make you money, what's going to get you paid, is in that deep work state. So if you're not making money from your work right now, if you're struggling to get clients, if you're thinking like, I'm making no progress, I can't get anything done, this is why. Because you are one of these dumbasses, one of these normal people who are resetting their streak every single 10-15 minutes. And I really hope that you don't have the ego, the lack of humility to say that this doesn't apply to you. Because be honest, right now, you've probably been watching this video and you're scrolling down. You're probably watching this video, you've checked Discord a few times. You've checked your phone, you've had your phone on the side, you're looking down the home screen thinking, should I watch another video? You can't even watch like what, 10-15 minutes of a video without getting distracted. Do you really think that that some other editor that can hold his focus and can enter deep work isn't gonna fucking destroy you and take the clients you want. So this practice of removing distractions, I want you to do it every single time you're either working or learning. Close out of your apps. Your Discord right now shouldn't be open. Your Twitter, it's okay. You can stop checking your Twitter for a couple hours. I promise you, nothing detrimental will happen. Even if there is one client that might DM you, is the possibility of one client maybe messaging you and you responding as soon as they message worth you throwing away your entire career? Because I promise you, I used to have this fear as well. I would want to keep checking my message and I would literally stay up at night because I was scared to leave a client unread or like undelivered for more than like an hour. I would literally never get into this deep work state because of that fear. And I promise you, take this from someone that's talked to people that genuinely are the biggest YouTubers in the space. I've talked to people with the Sidemen, I've talked to the Debater Squad, I've talked to like every single large channel, 30, 40, 50 million subscribers. I promise you, it's fine if you don't respond in a couple hours. They will understand. Because if you do decide that you need to message straight away, sure, you're a better communicator, you're better with speaking to clients, but you have thrown away the opportunity for you to actually create value on the marketplace and get paid and find out your potential with editing. And with removing distractions, not only does it apply with the digital world, so you're like PC, removing the apps, closing it out, getting used to not going on Twitter, it also applies to the physical realm as well. If you looked around your room right now, genuinely do this. Look at your desk, look at your room, look at the floor, look at your bed. If I opened your wardrobe right now, would it be like organized or would it be just a mess like the rest of your room? If you can't even organize and manage the things in your room, something you can physically see, how do you expect to organize things in your brain, this complex machine which has like 5 billion different functions and 5,000 different ways of working? How do you expect to organize your brain and your thoughts if you can't even manage to organize your physical world? You know when you have like those random like 2 a.m, 3 a.m motivations, and for me what I found is one of the main things that I do when I have those like late night motivations is I clean my room. I don't know why I do it, not even like I clean it properly, like wiping down and stuff. I'll start organizing stuff, like I'll start like fixing up my setup, my keyboard, I'll straighten it out, my random like tissues and shit, and it's like papers scrunched up, photos in the bin. It's like I start clearing my space. And even in like this movie, it's called Limitless. If you haven't watched it already, it's like this guy, he discovers like a pill which basically unlocks like 100% potential of your brain, and like he's so smart and everything. And literally as soon as he takes this pill, the very first thing he did was that he cleaned his entire apartment top to bottom, and then he used the rest of his abilities. Just think about that, right? You have the potential to do anything you want, and the first thing this guy did was clean his environment. Because the standards that you hold when it comes to how clean your room is the same standard you'll hold to how good your videos are. It's the same standard that you'll hold to how much focus you keep during your editing sessions. You need to realize that you and the editing version of you aren't two separate identities. You are the business. So when you fuck up your own life, when you are living like a bum and you're like, your room's messy and it's like all this shit is around you, your desk has like so many things on top of it, your brain isn't going to be able to think while you're editing. Genuinely pause this video and fix your environment. If your bed isn't made, go make it. If your room's a tip, go fix it. Because I promise you, you're going to have so much more mental clarity when you've actually got this done. And you're going to want to skip this. You're going to say, oh, I'll do this after the video. It's not that important. Let me listen to the rest of the steps. Give me a quick actionable step that I can follow as soon as possible. Bro, you're watching this video because you want me to help you. The only way that I can actually help you is if I give you the advice and then you implement it. I can't come into your house, clean your room, make you not go on Twitter, make you edit a video. I can't do that. All I can do is tell you the actionable steps from what's worked in my life and that I've helped other editors with. And then after that, the ball goes into your court. It's now your choice whether you follow these actionable steps or not. So pause this video, genuinely clear your desk, clean your room, make your bed, change into a clean set of clothes if the clothes you're wearing right now are dirty. Be clean in your environment. I promise you, your thoughts while editing will be so much clearer. Pause the video now, go do that now. Once you've done that and you've come back to your seat or wherever you're watching this video, the next thing we need to do is establish the expectations with not only ourselves but with other people. We need to set in stone for this work block while I am working, what are the expectations that I hold myself to and I hold other people around me to. So with yourself, you know you don't want to allow yourself to go on your phone, check Instagram, go onto your like friends Discord messages, go onto your friends group chat. You know you don't want to do these things. So you need to set yourself the expectation that you will not do it. And what greater way to do that than physically moving your phone into another room. I don't move my phone every time, but like I've got it here. I've got every single notification disabled within the settings, so like physically it doesn't come through. I've got do not disturb on, and then it's turned upside down on my desk. Even if someone wanted to distract me, they couldn't. And sometimes, especially when I'm struggling and like even if I don't have a notification, I'll check my phone. When I catch myself doing that, I'll leave my phone in another room, because chances are you could quickly check Insta or TikTok right now. You're probably not going to be motivated enough, like you're not going to want to do it enough, that you'll go literally downstairs into another room, pick up your phone, scroll on Instagram for a bit, then come back upstairs. You're probably not going to do that. So if your phone is something you struggle with, move it to another room. So that's how we're going to set expectations with ourselves. And the way we set expectations with others, the way we make it so that people around us don't distract us, honestly, what I've found is it's clear communication. So I remember back maybe a year or two ago when I would be working and then I'd find out I wanted to be in this productive state. I wanted to get a lot of work done, but it's like out of nowhere, my mom will call me. Oh, suddenly I need to take the bins out. Suddenly I need to come eat. Suddenly my dad needs to ask me about how to do this thing on his phone. There's all these things that come up and it's like, bro, I'm trying to get a productive session of work done. Why are you coming in my way? Let me work. And it's like this genuinely went on for months and then years. And I'm sort of getting like resentful towards them. Like, I want to work during this time. I love you guys. I want to talk to you later. Why are you distracting me during my work? And this resentment was building up. And it's like you might have something similar with your parents or younger siblings or like just random people calling you. But the thing is, I couldn't really blame them at all, because sure, they were annoying me, they were getting in my way, but I've never even told them how they should act instead. I never even set those boundaries saying like, oh, can you not disturb me please? Oh, I'm working with this block of work, can you not disturb me for the next hour? Oh, I'm settling this thing, can you like leave me for a bit? I'll eat at this time, can you not ask me for a bit please? And it's like, it feels kind of uncomfortable because it's like, oh, how can you tell your parents that? That's so rude. But honestly, I promise you they will respect you a lot more if you set those boundaries from before, rather than you screaming at them because they didn't let you work. Like, I have this happen so often where I'll be recording or I'll be editing and I have like a deep work session going on and my parents will just knock on the door, or my sister suddenly calls me and suddenly wants to give me a hug, and it's like, I love her for that. Genuinely, I love it when like my mom's coming in to give me food. I love them to bits. They're doing it out of love. But the problem is for me to accept this like form of love right now, but that will be at the detriment of my future success. Genuinely, like what I'm saying is that by you disturbing these deep work blocks, by you not being able to enter deep work, you throw away the potential your future had. Because in one reality, you are genuinely making 50 to 100 times more than you already are right now. And if you allow these distractions to come in and manifest themselves, you throw all of that away. And it's like, you just gotta weigh it up for yourself. This is how I think about it. Am I willing to spend the next hour or so and then accept that love later? Like after this whole recording, my sister just came home. I'm gonna go give her a hug. It's like, am I willing to wait maybe an hour or so to go like reciprocate that love and then go talk to them in order for me to have that long-term success? I would say yes. So it's like, these moments are gonna come. People are gonna disturb you. It's about how you deal with it. Before starting your work block, go around the house, talk to your mom, say, Mom, I'm gonna work for the next 90 minutes. I'm gonna be busy for the next 2 hours. Can you not disturb me for a bit, please? If you need anything, if it's really important, let me know, but I would prefer if you just waited until I'm done. It might sound a bit awkward or scary to you right now. I promise you, once you've done it once or twice, it feels completely normal. If your parents don't take editing seriously right now, you doing this will show them that you're actually taking it seriously and they'll have a bit more respect for you. The second component of this deep work protocol is ultradian cycle. Now, you probably haven't heard of these before, but what it is the idea that our bodies, they work in 90-minute cycles. This isn't just me saying like some woo shit or people like theorize this. This is like in your biology. Throughout the day, your body is in this 90-minute cycle, which it goes in and out of these like optimal states. So the way we leverage this is that we work in 90-minute blocks, because you'll find that after about 90 minutes of genuinely focused work, not like, oh, I'm checking Discord here, I'm kind of doing this and I'm listening to music. It's like not like some shallow work, proper like brain numbing work, which is like you're genuinely putting your heart and soul into this work and you're getting true value made. We can only do it for about 90 minutes and then our brain genuinely starts getting fatigued and productivity drops off by quite a bit, and it's like you can't work properly after about 90 minutes of deep work. So when you are working, instead of saying you're working for 10 hours, work in 90-minute blocks. Okay, you work for 90 minutes, take a few hours of break, do another 90-minute block later, go on with your day, go gym, do whatever, have a 90-minute block later. You only need to get about 3 hours, 4.5 hours of work done a day. And it's like, to some of you that might sound like too little, some of you that might sound too a lot, but what I'm saying is that in these hours, it's not this wishy-washy work. You are genuinely getting more work done than most people do in a week. work. In order to track this time, I recommend using a timer. There are two options. There's a physical versus digital. Digital technically works, but I've always recommended physical. So physical being like it's in the real world. So technically it's a digital clock, but it's in the physical world. I use this. So you like set it to 90 minutes and then you just click it and then it'll go for 90 minutes and you just keep it in front of you while you're working. And as soon as that's done, you finish work, you can go rest for about 20 to 30 minutes. Just have a break. Specifically in this break that you have, you don't allow yourself to like focus your vision. So I think it's called deliberate defocus, which is allowing your brain to wander. So your brain's been hyper focused on this one thing. We don't want to, in our break, be focusing again on a phone. We don't want to be focusing again on a Discord message. You need to do deliberate defocus in your breaks. It's things like going on a walk. It's like working out, not like heavy intense where you've got to focus, but it's like light workout, talking to your family, having conversations which aren't like business related, genuinely just like enjoying the moment for what it is. And if you're not sure whether a task is deliberate focus or not, just think about your eye movements. So when you are doing this task that you're doing in your break, are your eyes focused on one spot? If it is, then that is not deliberate defocus. And it's incredibly important that during this deep work block, this 90 minutes of work that we do, we don't switch tasks at all. We literally do one thing for that entire thing. So it's like not, oh, I'm gonna edit for an hour and then for the last 30 minutes I'm gonna work on my portfolio. 30 minutes I'm going to cut, another 30 minutes I'm gonna do outreach, then 30 minutes I'm gonna work on my brand. No, you genuinely for an entire hour and a half work on one task. I am cutting this video. I am fixing my portfolio. I am reading this book. Because every time you switch tasks, it has the same effect as you going on Twitter or you opening Discord just to read a few messages. And you already know that the cost of doing these small task switches, these going on Discord, going on Twitter, it's a lot more than the 5 seconds you spend. Every single time you do that, you reset that timer just like we spoke about before. And I want to clear this up now. I want to give you like a disclaimer, just a heads up. It's normal and it's completely okay, but it's hard, especially for the first 20 to 30 minutes. You'll find that when you are entering this work session, when you set the timer, you've told your family, you've sat down to work, for the first bit of time, you're going to be feeling like, oh, I really want to check Discord. I really want to check my phone. Oh, this is super hard. Like, I just can't be arsed editing. It's like bare annoying. Like, I can't think of something creative. You're going to have these thoughts. All I'm telling you to do is fight through it for just 20 minutes. Because that resistance that you're feeling, all it is allowing you to catapult into this deep work state. It's the price you pay for this hyper productive session, just going through that tiny bit of resistance. So whenever you do find your focus going away, like literally like your eyes move away, looking around your desk, looking for something to play with, bring your focus back. Just practice bringing that arrow of focus back to your work. So in this 90-minute bout of work, and especially that first 20 minutes, it's inevitable that you get small distractions here and there. Just make it your practice, make it your intention that you continuously bring it back to the task at hand. And the third and final component of this deep work protocol is tools for success. So these are basically going to be these like small tactics, small things that I've done myself and things that you'll be able to implement in the real world today that you're going to see visible, like genuine improvements from. The first tool for success is going to be your water bottles and hydration. A lot of people don't realize how detrimental it is for you to be dehydrated while you work. There's two types of work, right? There's labor work and there's knowledge work. Labor work is when you use your physical body, you're moving around boxes and shit. Knowledge work is when you're using your brain. It's your thoughts, it's the decisions you make which make you money. So you are, as an editor, a knowledge worker. And as a knowledge worker, your knowledge work is only as good as the state of your mind, right? Because your brain is making you money. Therefore, if your brain is working better, you will make more money. But what most people don't understand is that like this is probably not going to be like the perfect science and shit, but your brain, like the nerves that need to like pass around your body, it's just electrical signals, right? Like you want to click your mouse button, your brain thinks it wants to send it, and then it passes a nerve from like your brain through like your fucking spinal cord and then down to your arm and then to your finger, and it does that. And it's like every single thing that you do, you watching this video, whether the thoughts are going through your brain right now or not, are dependent on the electrical signals and like the nerves and shit going through properly. And the way these electrical signals pass through, it's through electrolytes. Electrolytes you'll find in water. It's basically like minerals, it's these like salts and stuff, and it allows these electrical signals to pass through. So when you're either dehydrated or low on electrolytes, it will genuinely like slow down your fucking brain. Like your knowledge work, your editing will be at a detriment because of it. And I've noticed this with myself. Whenever I feel like I'm in a slump or I don't feel like waking up or like I just feel like shit, I found almost every single time it's because I'm dehydrated. Like it's gotten to the point where I literally have like just several bottles at my desk. So I've got one, I've got this one, I've got this one. And with these, I literally have 6 of them. 2 of them I finished already today. 2 of them were from last night, so they're downstairs right now. I'm gonna fill them up when I come back upstairs. But you need to prioritize your hydration. Before you sit down in your editing session, buy a few bottles, get a few glasses of water, keep it at your desk. The second tool for success is the positioning of your monitor. So this I learned from Andrew Huberman in one of his productivity podcasts. If you don't watch Andrew Huberman, I really recommend you watch him. He talks about like science and like science-based ways to become more productive, become happier, just fix your life in a way that's based in science. And something he talks about is how the level of your eyes, so whether you're looking slightly down or slightly up, and how it affects your alertness. What he talks about and what's been found in like several studies is that when humans, we look at either eye level, like directly in front, or slightly up, we have a heightened level of alertness. We feel more awake, we feel more creative, we feel like we can conquer the day, like conquer the world when we have this slight upwards vision. And the same way, when we look slightly down, we have a decreased level of alertness. We're more likely to feel sleepy, we're more likely to feel tired, we're more likely just our mind to wander. So for us to use this like biological fact to our benefit, we're just gonna move our monitor slightly above our normal vision line. There's a couple of ways to do this. So for me, I can move my actual monitor up. So I've done it slightly higher than usual. It used to be low, and I realized I think that's why I used to be so tired. I did this for one day. Genuinely, I've been doing it since like I heard about this tip. It's fucking changed the way I feel while I work. If you can't move your monitor, or if the monitor doesn't go high enough, just move your seat down. Like physically move your seat down so relatively you're looking up. I look so goofy when I put my chair down. Maybe if you have a laptop, stack your laptop on a few books, or like have it on a stand so that you are looking slightly upwards towards it. Doesn't need to be fucking high as hell, but just level and slightly up. When you do that, you'll find you become a lot more alert. You just feel more awake while you're working. And the third tool of success is something I've actually released to my boys in the editing lair before. My editing lair is like this private community. It's like, it's not open, I don't share it anywhere, but basically I tell these guys literally everything. I teach them how to make a shit ton of money from editing. And something I taught them was this trick where you record yourself while you're working. This is something I've been doing for like 6 months, and I've only started doing it again consistently recently, and I've realized the results it has. But what you do, this is the only reason your phone should be in your room or you're using it. You get your camera, you go into time lapse, and you just leave it somewhere in your room where it's like, it's just recording you while you edit. So it should be able to see the screen, it should be able to see you. It doesn't matter how you set it up. This doesn't need to be like fucking production quality, but just recording yourself while you do this 90-minute session of work genuinely has such a crazy impact on your focus. And I think there's a few reasons for this. I think first of all, you have like that satisfaction of like looking back at it and being like, it looks kind of cool, like I'm working so fast, and you see the video coming across in like real time. And the second reason it works so well, I think the main reason, is because it utilizes accountability and shame. Because when you know you have a camera looking at you work, it feels like a big brother, or like it feels like someone's watching you work. When someone's watching you, you're not going to be suddenly going on Twitter, suddenly going on Discord. If you were in a call with your client and you were sharing your screen and you're showing how you edit, would you randomly open up Twitter when they could see it? Probably not, right? That would be a bit embarrassing. So when you record yourself working, it feels like that, but it's self-imposed. So it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm getting like fucking traumatized, this guy's watching over my shoulder. It feels normal. Like, it's a good way to keep yourself accountable. A way to get even more value and accountability from this is to send it to other people. Send it in a place where you would want to like almost like impress other people. So you're an editor, and you subconsciously, whether you know it or not, a primal part of your brain wants the respect and like other editors to look at you and think highly of you. As a human, you have this need for status, and part of status comes from other people respecting you. And if other people saw that you're a hard worker, you would probably be happy by that. So straight after this video, what I'm gonna do, I've just had this idea now. I'm gonna create a channel just for recording like sessions. So it's gonna be called like, oh, editing sessions or something like that, where you can send in the video of you editing. So you'll do the time lapse and you'll send it in there as a way of accountability. And it's almost like a game where you can almost like get motivated by other people. You can show that you're so focused. You can show that you're editing, and you can see other people editing. And I think it's such an amazing way for you to keep yourself accountable and get these deep work sessions done, because you remember how impactful this is. This is genuinely the reason of whether your editing career will do well or not. So I hope you take this step seriously. Go do that session. I'll have the Discord link in the description below. It's free to join and everything. You can post your editing sessions in there. Also in the Discord, you'll find there's over 1,000 guys in there right now, and all of them are video editors. So it's people literally just like you, and they're on the same path. And one of the greatest quotes that I've ever heard is, you are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. So imagine how much more progress you'd make when there's literally people that you can speak about editing with any time of the day. You can literally just join a voice chat, tell people, hey, I'm editing, can you join voice chat? And you'll find people are in the voice chats, people are like talking about editing, you can reply to other people, and it's just a beautiful way for you to network and meet other editors just like you. Because I find it so awesome that there's so many people around the world that are so similar to us. Like, I used to think when I was editing that I was on this venture alone, like I'm so different to everyone else, which, don't get me wrong, within my town, my area, I am probably one of the only people that are doing exactly what I'm doing. And it's like, that makes you feel like you don't fit in anywhere. It feels like you have no one to talk to about your work, which you are so passionate about. But through this work that I'm doing now, through like making this content, through sharing what I've learned over my last few years, I'm realizing there's so many people just like me and you. It's like there's so many people on this path with you. There's literally over 1,000 guys watching this. Like, every single person you're watching this right now, think about how niche down my content is. I literally just make content for editors. There are thousands of people watching my videos and benefiting from our stuff. Every single one of them is just like you. So if you are like us, I welcome you to join us. I know you probably don't have many people in your like personal life that relate to editing or like what you're doing now, so we welcome you to our community. And if you are someone like I just described, then I recommend you watch through some of my other videos. You can also subscribe down below, and I recommend you watch this video here. Take care. Peace.